Living that life. We just living that life. Parking plots, living that life. We just living that life.
Chris The Freelancer.
Hello, Riley.
You made it back.
I made it back. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. So welcome back to Nomad Life, bro. We thought we lost you. We were like, no. So right when I ran into you, randomly in Food for Thought, I was working. You walked in. I had no idea you were coming back. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Chris The Freelancer's back. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then you told me that you're gonna make a video about home life versus nomad life, and I was like, oh, perfect. I've kind of been meaning to make a video about that, even though I haven't lived for a full year back home. Every year I do like a month back home,
Yeah.
and so I was like, perfect. Let's do a follow-up video on your video, and let's expand about it a bit. So that's what this is. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen it, it's on Chris's channel. It'll be linked below, all that good stuff. But basically, the premise of it is you've been a full-time digital nomad for the past 3 years, minus this one last year.
Yeah.
That you went back to live home in Australia. And just a quick summary of it is in your video, he explains it and everything. But the reasons were career, dating, and feeling settled. His reasons for feeling the urge to go back to work for a year, and the biggest positives that came out of that for him were career and health and fitness. Got really fit, got ripped as bleep back home, and the biggest negatives that he said were boredom and people not relating. So yeah, like Parker watched it and he's like, yeah, so many of the things that you said, all of us nomads pretty much feel. And the biggest thing is kind of like how you were saying at the end, like basically a lot of people at home, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like we enjoy this lifestyle so much, obviously, and a lot of people back home, some people just like don't get it.
Absolutely.
So kind of expand on that, what it was like when you kind of told people that you were like doing this digital nomad work remote thing for the past 3 years, and like people's reactions, I guess, normal people.
Yeah. So, I've been home at numerous times throughout the 3 years that I was nomadic. And so I know that people, most people haven't heard of it, haven't even heard the term digital nomad, aren't aware that people are working remotely and traveling or just staying in the one place, living abroad. So I was prepared for that, but I guess what I found interesting was that nobody was interested in, pretty much nobody was interested in diving, like learning more about it. So, I would be like, oh yeah, I was doing this thing where I was nomadic. And it wasn't so much that they didn't get it, because I kind of knew that, because it's a kind of very out there concept that not many people know about. But the thing that surprised me was like kind of the attitude that came back to me. Like it was just confusion, or like, okay, you're a bit of a weirdo. Like it wasn't a positive like, oh, what's that? Like you just said before, they didn't even ask a follow-up question most of the time. So it just showed a complete lack of interest in something that, as you said, we both enjoy this, and there's a lot of things we like to talk about within this world of digital nomads and live it ourselves. And then going home, it's like that topic or that world just doesn't even exist,
Yeah, it's weird. Like, and obviously I'm going to assume that most people following your channel and my channel like have dreams to aspiring dreams to travel and or be a digital nomad, work remote in another city or country for some or part of the year. So I'm just gonna assume that about you watching. And so at the very end of your video, you're like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about doing what you want, basically setting up the life that you want. And I was like, yeah, obviously that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the point you're making at the end, it's like You don't have to be a digital nomad or a settled person. You don't have to choose between having this identity of being one or the other.
Yeah.
The beauty of it, guys, the beauty of it is having options. That's the beauty. And I think if you ask anyone, 90% of people are going to say, yes, I value having options. And one of those biggest options is the ability to take extended vacations and or travel often. And I think if you ask 90% of people are going to say, yes, I wish that I could travel more and or for longer periods of time. And so for you guys watching this, you already have that travel bug or that desire to travel a lot. And I've talked to so many people. Obviously out here we're kind of in a little bubble, but I even ask local people and just people casually on vacations. I'm like, what's your dream? Like, oh cool, you're studying, doing this job, cool, how long do you want to do that? What's your dream? And they're like, travel the world, make money. Like, those are the first two common things.
Really?
Travel the world and make money.
Nice.
So let's be honest, we all want to travel the world. And so this is what I've been saying and preaching for years. And we're in this whole digital nomad 4-hour work week religion. This is the philosophy of it. Big picture is, if you want travel and or living in other countries, experiencing other cultures for extended vacations, if you want the international lifestyle to be a part of your life, there's no better way to do that than being able to conduct your business from a laptop. Big picture is that's what it comes down to. So at the end of your video, you're like, yeah, if you have the means to be a digital nomad, then try it out. And that's great. So a lot of you are kind of like, okay, probably thinking, what are the means to do that? How do I do that? Because I think most of you, if you're thinking about being a digital nomad, you're working on making that happen. Like, you would if you could, but you can't. I think most people, they would. Obviously, people who watch our channel, they have dreams of being a digital nomad. They would do it now, but they can't, because the biggest thing, number one thing, is being able to work and earn remotely. And that takes some figuring out. But obviously, all the things we talk about it's more possible than ever to do. So that's what it comes down to, guys. Figure out a way to work remotely. And the kind of three main categories of working remotely are being a freelancer. So which means doing work for clients around the world, for businesses and clients, doing digital tasks like coding, Shopify, store building, writing, translation, graphic design, all that stuff, doing piecework for clients. The second main category is being a remote employee, which I meet more and more remote employees.
Yeah, that's definitely becoming more common now, as people are cluing onto the fact that, it's all, the tools are there, the technology's there, right?
Yep. So more companies are letting their employees work from anywhere, because once some companies start doing it, then other big companies have to start competing, or else employees will move to those ones that allow the flexibility. So there's this whole flexibility competition revolution going on, and even the corporate space. Maybe not the traditional big corporate companies, but the tech companies, new startups and stuff. It's really a popular thing to allow your employees to work remotely, because millennials, let's be honest, we want this. There was just this huge study that went on. Anyway, you can look it up, but we all know, us millennials, we want this. We want the ability to work from home if we want. We want the ability to not commute. Anyway, second flavor is remote employee. And the third flavor is what everyone should, of course, strive to do, is own your own business. What is owning a business? It means you have a system running where you're making money 24/7. where you're not necessarily trading your time for money via working for an employer or working for clients. It's owning a company using technology like Amazon's platform or Shopify, digital marketing, ads that run 24/7, where someone can buy from your business at any time of the day. So that's a business where you're hiring employees. And of course, if you're a bootstrapping entrepreneur, you can hire VAs for $5 an hour from India or Philippines to do these repetitive tasks for you. So anyways, the three main categories, just so you know, guys, this is the big picture, are freelance, remote employee, or start your own small online business. So those are your three options, guys, and depending on your situation, one of those may make sense. And I was 6 years ago when I was dreaming about being a digital nomad. I saw Johnny FD's videos because I took a 2-week vacation to Thailand. Because Parker did a semester abroad out here. We were like, 2 weeks, that was stupid. Let's go work abroad for a year. And so we're like, oh, we could get a job in Thailand, easy. Park's got connections with all these big hotels. So we searched on YouTube, working in Thailand, jobs in Thailand, found Johnny FD's channel, went to his conference about e-commerce out here in Thailand, rest is history. But at that time I was trying to figure out what is the right online business, like what can I do to make money online. And we were like bouncing around YouTube, but I really wish there was a place, one kind of place that explained, all right, here's all the things that digital nomads do, and here's how all their business models work in kind of one place.
Okay.
And I never heard about that. And that's why this video is sponsored by...
Yeah?
No, it's actually... It's sponsored by my own mini course that I made, and that's kind of what I'm transitioning to because I need to talk about this more. I made this last year, and because so many people DM me and email me, Riley, I want to live this life, but I don't know what's the right thing for me to do to earn remotely. And so I made this mini course that explains all those three categories. So the different things you can do freelancing, tips and tricks to make a remote employee work, and the top 10 or so online business models that my digital nomad friends do that make good money doing. So I explain all those different models, like the investment required, the time investment required, money investment required, how it works, who's it for, who's it not for, the realistic time to make like a few grand consistently, aka being able to live either in Chiang Mai on $1,000 a month or just be able to work from home in America. You're probably gonna need closer to $4K a month. But anyways, guys, if you're thinking about being a digital nomad, you want to figure this out, I was like, you guys need to know about my mini course. And so I finally made it. And so this is, I guess, sponsored, you could say, sponsored by my own shit.
You can sponsor your own video.
Yes,
why not,
I want to sponsor my own video. Why not? So you guys can find a link to that in the description. I'm calling it my beginner's course. So I knew that a lot of you needed that next step. If you watch Chris's video or you click to watch this video, the next step is figuring out what are the options that I can earn remotely. And my mini course, beginner's course, whatever you want to call it, breaks down all of those things so you can wrap your head around in one place the different options that you can do. And then from there, it's just a matter of starting your side hustle, you know. And I actually map out the whole roadmap in my beginner's course. You know, choose your business model. You know, you're enroll in a school or an advanced course. Start your side hustle. You know, you're working on your laptop on the side of your job. You know, nights and weekends until you're making enough with that, or your savings is enough where you're comfortable going full time to work on that. And then you buy your ticket, you go to Google Flights or Expedia, whatever the frick, and you click buy ticket, and you buy your one-way ticket to Chiang Mai, and that's the roadmap. And anyway, that's the next step, guys. Do it. I mean, yeah, what are your thoughts on the whole journey from transitioning from, you know, traditional job to to a digital nomad? You know, let's say someone wants to start, you know, they're like, okay, Chris, I want to do this. What does that journey kind of look like? And what was it like for you?
Yeah, so I've kind of like, because I've kind of taken a break from it and come back to it, it's almost like starting again. But this time, I feel like I'm in a much stronger position. So when I first discovered this digital nomad thing, honestly, I rushed into it because I was like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I was still studying a degree in accounting at the time I heard about this, and I wanted to do it as soon as possible. But my girlfriend and I at the time, we just basically just signed another year lease in our apartment. But it was like, well, you know, we should prepare for this anyway. So we'll give ourselves the year. We'll give ourselves till the end of the lease. And then I was kind of like, yeah, I mean, less than a year into this career, and then like going off and like trying to make it work. So, you know, it all worked out in the end, but it was a struggle in the beginning because I feel like you know, there's different levels of setting yourself up before you go. I think I remember watching one of your videos once where I think you interviewed a guy who saved up $100,000 before he went out.
Oh yeah.
Came out to Vietnam and started his business.
Yeah, maybe that was Kai. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, not everyone's going to save up $100,000 New Zealand, Australian, American dollars. And for me, you know, we did that first video we ever did. I talked about how I saved up 10,000 Australian dollars. And in hindsight, that wasn't that much money, especially when we kind of shared that as a couple. This time, I like kind of took a step back. I got the work experience that I needed, got specialized skills in a specialized area. So I now specialize specifically in Shopify theme development. And coming out of the job I worked in and going to LinkedIn and messaging companies, I was able to find work within like a week. Wow. And I honestly found this client, and I haven't really looked for another client because I'm getting that much work from this one client. They're so good in the sense that they don't mess me about at all. Like when I invoice them, I get paid straight away. And for anyone who freelances knows, sometimes that's hard to find. A lot of clients will mess you about. And I'm actually, my next video is going to be on this, about like, wow, what's actually changed from when I started. So you know, we'll link that, or you can check it out on my channel.
Are you going to touch on the LinkedIn method?
It's not so much about lead generation as much as it's like core principles of what had changed for me. But that's another way of launching yourself, right? Like, you know, having a career for a while, like taking a hit on the location independence to kind of build some really good skills that you can then transition into being location independent. So sometimes it's good to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, you know?
Yeah. It's, you know, people ask me like, when should I quit my job? Should you quit your job to go remote or whatever, to go travel, be a digital nomad before you're making X dollars online, before you're making money online? And it's like, there can't be one set answer, because if you have 100K in the bank, then most people would probably say, yeah, you're probably fine. You can quit your job, you know, because if let's say you're living in Chiang Mai for 1,000 a month, you know, if you have 12K in the bank, that's going to get you a year of living time. Chris's video, obviously he proved that you can live on 600 a month here, if you live close like that. So yeah, there's no one answer, and I've had videos on this before, but it's like, it's a combination of how much money you're making at your job currently. So for example, if you're making really good income with your job, I tell my friends and followers, stick with that for as long as you can. Until you can't anymore, until you like literally can't get out of your car and walk to your job. And I had that point, by the way. I was doing door-to-door sales I would park my car and I just did not want to get out. I was so burnt out. So keep going until you're absolutely burnt out. Stack your chips as high as you can. Don't blow it. Don't blow 20K on a car. Don't blow it on stupid things. I blew 10K on a car. Went back home. Paid cash. I was like, oh yeah, balling. Like, no.
Was this after you started traveling? Or?
No. This was when I had my corporate job. I did corporate sales for Comcast for 2 years, and I'd saved up like 20K, and I was like, oh yeah, what can I buy now? Let's buy a fucking BMW, 10K cash. Oh yeah, boom, baller. Now I'm just like, oh, I could launch several Amazon products and turn that into 10K a month.
Yeah.
Now, like, so anyways, combination of how much you're making, a combination of how much you already have saved, obviously, a combination of your family and relationship situation. Let's say you have to like take care of your parents or your grandparents or something, or you know, or that's one thing, your family situation, and then your girlfriend situation. If you have a girlfriend, you know, obviously, if she can't work remotely and you have to stay together, then
time to dump her ass. I'm just kidding.
It's time to kick that. No. So that situation, it's either time to dump her ass or you can't. And that's when it comes into, what do you value? Do you value being able to travel and have these experiences, or do you value that relationship more? And honestly, there's no right answer. I would just ask you to think about that pretty hard. What do you value more? What's more important to you? And actually, this chick right in the other room, she quit her job just a month ago to be a full digital nomad. She's like, yep. I'm like, did you sell your car and like do all the things? She's like, yep, broke up with my boyfriend, sold my car. And I was like, and Chris was like, I don't know. Anyway, and I was like, hey, if it, you know, don't be sad about it. You know, you made the right decision. If it was meant to be, it'll come back. So you could use that philosophy. And then it's like, you know, if you have freaking kids, you know, that's a whole nother thing you have to consider. Assets like cars and stuff, that's a whole nother thing. And leases. So let's say you have an apartment, you know, lease, it's, you got 6 months more to go, or you got 12 months more to go. You know, now you're gonna have to wait that time, or sublet it. You can always sublet your apartment, or sell your car. Of course you can do that. But anyways, it's this whole bunch of different circumstances of when you should quit your job, when you should go remote. So, you know, I look back and I'm like, I'm kind of lucky that I found this when I was so young, at like 24, 25, when I didn't have a lot of responsibilities. And that's one of the other big philosophies that I push. Like, yo, most of you guys are pretty young. I don't care if you're 25 or 35 or 18. Do it while you're young. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna travel once I make $1 million, or I'm gonna go travel once I'm like 50 or 60 and I have this big business where I can and employees are running everything. I don't know. You should probably just do it now.
Yeah, and the other thing, I talked about this in a recent interview, but I'd say you want to try it as soon as possible, because a lot of people, sometimes people will have this dream, right? Oh, I'm going to do this when this happens, right? And they think that that's the epitome of happiness. But whenever you reach a goal, first of all, life goes on, and you'll find that, oh, okay, I'm proud of reaching that goal, but I need a new goal. But also, there's also the chance that achieving that goal, or like basically if your goal is to be a digital nomad, or maybe you've got a particular destination in mind, there's a chance that you might not like it. And imagine if you did something you hated for 20 years or whatever, just to get to this point where, oh, I'm going to do this thing that I know I'm going to love, but you really don't know. And then it's just going to be like, wow, like, why did I sacrifice all that time? And then you're going to have to figure it out. So I think introduce as much freedom as you can early, and that way you can learn what works for you. Because like in my experience, I jumped straight into the digital nomad thing and decided to go home for a year. You know, I'm still figuring things out. It's not like you achieve a certain level of freedom and that's it, right? You're still trying to figure out what to do with life. And also having a lot of freedom means you got a lot more questions to answer. How do I construct my life? How do I form a routine? Like when somebody isn't telling you to go to work, what time do I start work?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you know? I think that's like final chapter of 4-Hour Work Week, right? Like what to do with your freedom, basically.
Yeah, because when you start having this, obviously the goal, guys, is to have passive income online. That's like the entrepreneur dream. It not only digital entrepreneur, but that's the entrepreneur how to build wealth, is having passive income coming in from different sources, aka your businesses and your investments, guys. The cash flow quadrant, you look that up, guys. You want to be a business owner and investor. You don't want to be an employee or a specialist, because those guys trade their time for money. You want to be a business owner and investor. This is actually a quick case study. My little brother got into selling on Amazon because he came out to visit us in 2016.
Yeah.
He is now just crossing 100K saved in his bank from selling on Amazon. He makes over 100K a year gross profit.
Wow.
And now he's like, yeah, that's just one case study, guys. By the way, if you follow my videos because you want to get into FBA selling, do it. Watch my interview with my little brother. It's always going to be possible. This video is also sponsored by my Amazon school, of course. Sponsored by my own shit again. The more money we can take from colleges and universities and put that into creating online entrepreneurs, where you're gonna not only come away to never need a job again, but you're gonna make more money than you probably were as an employee long term, and have much more freedom. Anyway, obviously. But now he's like, his big problem now is, what do I do with my time? He's trying to figure out like what his passion is, and what he wants to do. So that's a great problem. But that is the whole philosophy of the 4-Hour Work Week, is create a business that's semi-automated, that will take care of your money, because we need income to live.
Yeah.
And get that income to a good amount, like 5K a month, 10K a month, 15, 20K a month, where you can like have a lot of options, like travel a lot, maybe live in a really nice condo. But then the real thinking starts, like, what do I want to do with my time? But that's when life starts, right? Because like during like most of people's lives, we're like just work, weekends, work, weekends. Like our whole entire existence is built around money, built around making money. And once you have a business that's just like taking care of that for you, and you have employees or technology or a combination of both that are handling that for you, and you have all this free time, it's like, oh, what? I don't have to worry about like money coming in all the time. Like when I wake up, like the basis of my waking up in the morning is not like, how can I go get my paycheck to come? It's like, whoa, then you enter the next stage of life, guys. The next stage of life. And that is really trying to figure out, what makes you happy? What brings you happiness? Do what you love. Because when you do what you love, you never have to work a day in your life. And as corny as that is true. And the 4-Hour Work Week, of course, it's a figure of speech, guys. It's a figure of speech. It doesn't mean you're not going to do shit. It means do what you would naturally do anyway, the most of your week. And then maybe four hours a week, half day per week or whatever, you're doing emails or editing or something that you'd rather not be doing. That's what that means. So like for Tim Ferriss, for example, it's interviewing super interesting people where he learns a shit ton, and writing books. Like that's what he likes doing. And
still
then
making money from that too.
And exactly. And so that's what they say is, when you follow your passion, then it will make you money. not always the case, but a lot of the times that is the case, especially when you're putting your creations out there. You'll slowly build a following that like your creations, boom, monetize it through making your own courses like I do and Chris does as well on Skillshare, or shouting out sponsors like the guy you were talking about, shouting out the freaking diamond ring company, but partnerships, or just straight getting sponsor videos, whatever. A million ways to monetize your kind of audience, and you get an audience by creating art that you love. So what is happiness? The 4-hour work week kind of philosophy is, Tim Ferriss argues that when people say they want to be happy, they actually mean that they want excitement. That's what he argues in the book. Of course, there's different philosophies about it. And so what is happiness? Excitement is happiness in this school of thought. So think about what excites you. This is what I would say to my brother. What excites you? Like, what gets you like talking a lot? What do you like to talk about? What do you do naturally? What's really exciting to you? Think about those things and then pursue that. And let's be honest, travel is really exciting for most people. Let's be honest. And so that's why it ties back into the whole 4-hour work week thing, is having a remote income allows you to travel a lot. And because travel looks so exciting, that's going to make you more happy. And obviously it allows you to have more free time. Let's say you like making music, that makes you happy. You're going to have free time to do that. Maybe dance makes you happy. Maybe podcasting, maybe painting, creating digital graphics. Maybe it's just like getting super fit and going to the gym 3 times a day makes you happy. Anyway, you get the point here. It all starts from creating a business that creates passive income or relatively passive income. And then if you really want travel to be a part of your life, you're going to want to make it internet-based, laptop-based, so you can travel often. And like Chris said, just try working remotely for, give it 3 months or something like that. And then if you're like, nah, my home country is the shit, no other country has shit on my country, on my home country, then okay, go back to your country and then only travel, once a month per year. But you're not even going to be able to take 3 months to try it if you can't work remotely anyway, or if you don't have like a bunch of savings that you can do that with. But it's hard if you have a regular job that you can't work remotely for. Even if you have $100K in the bank, most careers you can't just like leave for 3 months and then come back. Some maybe you can, if it's more of a sales commission type structure. But anyway, we're all preaching, hey, it's the easiest time ever to figure out a remote laptop-based work situation so you can have more options. And at the end of the day, keep your options open. I guess that's the whole philosophy of your video. Keep your options open and try different things and do whatever the frick you want. But you got to try different things first.
Yeah.
That's it. That's basically it, guys. That's it. Try different things. Hey, and I'll always shout out the Nomad Summit at the end of this video. If you're looking for a good time, an excuse to come visit Chiang Mai, the remote work capital, meet a bunch of different remote workers and people that have things in common, come to the Nomad Summits every January in Chiang Mai. Use that as your excuse. A lot of people just come for a couple weeks because that's all they can afford, or really that's all they're allowed to do, let's be honest, in their current job situation. Or a lot of people come out for a month. A lot of people come out indefinitely, and they're like, yep, just left my job. And don't burn any bridges, by the way, whether that's relationships, parents, friends, jobs. Don't burn any bridges. Make it a soft thing. Don't make it a hard close. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this remote working thing for a while, not sure how much. Don't like cut ties and be like, I'm gonna be a digital nomad now, I'm quitting, I'm never gonna be back. Just make it easy on people, because a lot of people won't understand it at first. Everyone here, thinks alike. People not relating was one of your biggest negatives. Top 2 negatives: boredom and people not relating. Yeah, boredom. I can attest to that. I've been full time, 11 months of the year living out here in tropical Asia. It's just a little bit more fun than Bellevue, Washington. I could say that. A little bit more fun, I could say. And then on top of that, the thing about living abroad and being in these cities out here, these digital nomad hotspots, is everyone pretty much is in the same boat. So like it's so much easier to meet people because all you have to say is, "Oh, hi, where are you from?" And she would be like, "Oh, I met 2 guys from Estonia, last weekend." She'd be like, "Oh, I'm from freaking Germany. I'm from Switzerland. I'm from Australia. I'm from freaking Israel. I'm from Canada." "Oh, well, why are you here?" Or you don't even have to say that. All you gotta say is, "Oh, cool. What's your business?"
Yeah, especially around places like this.
Yeah, especially if you're in a co-working space, we're at like Hotspot Cafe or like even anywhere in freaking Chiang Mai. It's like you have so much in common with everyone, so it's just like those relationships are instantly there. You instantly have something in common with someone you meet on the street, and even if they're not a remote worker, they're in Thailand right now, and so are you. They're in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Yeah.
So like they both, you both love travel. You're both in Chiang Mai doing interesting things, doing something not normal. So the connections you get out here are what's the word for it? I don't know. So cool, I guess, compared to someone back home. I'll speak for myself, and then you can, expand. You don't just like say hi and meet a random person that often, like back home in Seattle or something.
Yeah.
Because like, what are the chances you're gonna have something common with them, and other than like being in Seattle? Because, oh, guess what? That's probably where they're born, where they're from. And it's like they could be have completely different interests than you, but at least when you're out here, you already have interests in common.
Yeah, and I feel like having lifestyle goals as something in common is usually something that combine people together pretty nicely. Like if you have something in common, like you both like watching American football, it doesn't seem to be as strong as a relatable point than like choosing to have your whole life in a certain way.
Yeah.
And everyone you meet here has been conscious about how they've constructed their lifestyle, because you don't just end up here.
Yeah.
You have to make a conscious decision to go against the status quo and fly out here and do this. So you meet people that just by them being here shows that they've thought consciously about their life and how they want to design it. So
Exactly.
that's something I struggle with people back home, people that just aren't thinking about how they want their life to be, because that's something I'm always thinking about, is like, I'm always thinking about how can I live my ideal existence, I find it crazy that people just continue to do what they're told and they just, it's like their ignorance is bliss or something. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Which spins into a huge point that needs to be made is people that are out here are ambitious. This is a huge thing. So if you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you're ambitious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And living back home, I think when you think of it this way, it makes a lot of sense. Not everyone is born ambitious.
Yeah.
Not everyone is a go-getter, YOLO motherfucker, let's live life to the fullest. And I have to remind myself that sometimes. Not everyone is ambitious. Not everyone is like competitive, and wants to go crush life and, live life to the fullest. And I gotta, remind myself that, like, back home, some people just like, they're just not ambitious and they just want to, take their normal route. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that. But everyone out here, to what Chris was just saying, everyone who's already out here in Chiang Mai or in Bali has taken not just a conscious decision to come out here, but a hard, conscious decision. It is not easy to leave everything and go be like, I'm going to go live the tropical life And that's what I want to do. I'm gonna book that ticket. I'm gonna wrap all my ends. I'm gonna do it in the face of society, basically. So everyone out here is not just like an outcast. Everyone out here is ambitious. You know what I'm saying? And excited and like in tune with like the possibilities of this digital revolution are endless. And we all know that this is still the beginning of the internet, still the very beginning of this digital revolution. Excited about all these new digital marketing opportunities and all these different ways to make money online that come online every year. And excited about the world as big as it is, it's getting smaller every year. And excited about these communities evolving, like Chiang Mai and Canggu, Bali. Like, there's construction on every block, things going up and up and up. It's still the beginning stages, and you meet so many interesting, ambitious, creative, driven people out here. It's just like, I've called it the remote tropical Silicon Valley out here. And so if you're ambitious and creative and love travel, I mean, what better place to be out here in the capital of it all, Southeast motherfreaking Asia, specifically Canggu, Bali, and Chiang Mai, Thailand. Preach.
Wow.
And so yeah, you gotta think about that.
It was like commando level.
Yeah, man.
Pretty sure that.
Yeah. It took a while to warm up, but 30 minutes in, I got my...
It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen.
No, because it's true, guys. It's true. I'm freaking 5 years into this, and I guess ask me if I would ever do a year back home.
Would you ever do a year back home?
I don't know. Like right now, probably very unlikely. But after watching your video and realizing that that's all you were doing is experimenting with a year back home, pretty much. Maybe I would do a few months, try it out.
It's not it's not like it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh my god, that sounds so exciting to go home. It was more of like, within 6 months I was over it. Completely over
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
So it was like, I was just, oh, okay.
Exactly.
So I did it for my specific reasons. Glad I did it. And sometimes it's good to do difficult things.
Yeah.
But living at home is not the dream. That's why I wasn't really making any videos while I was there. Like, there's nothing exciting to share. Unlike here, I find more inspiration out here because it's just more interesting, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And to quote Jabril of Passport Heavy, he's like, yo, once you have the freedom to live in any city in any country, like, just the thought of going back to live at home permanently just like doesn't even register as interesting. So basically, once you live this freedom, online business, travel frequently life, going back to normal life where you take maybe 1-2 week vacation per year, that just like sounds like what? Because this is the new normal for us, this like remote work generation. So that's what like, I guess normal people have to understand. It's like, you're normal, even though you don't know it's your normal, because actually the truth is you're normal because it was your parents' normal, because it was your grandparents' normal, because it's society's normal. But
that's what normal means, right? It's the norm.
Yeah, the norm for the masses. Yeah. But really, living out here for 5 years, like, this is totally normal for here. Like, me and Parker, we're like, because people ask us, like, why do you guys live in like Thailand? Why do you live in like Bangkok? Yeah. We're like, well, why do you live in America? It's so like, Bangkok is just a little bit more fun than Bellevue.
It's like, why or why not?
Right? Exactly. Yeah, so we're like, why not? And so, would I live a year back home? Maybe. It depends if I have something exciting going on. It depends on your situation. Like, let's say I really got into producing music again, and a friend back home invited me to come work with him, like on an album, like, and be the executive or producer, just start producing the album. Then I'd be like, okay, that excites me. Yeah. So I'm gonna go pursue what excites me. Has nothing to do with the country or whatever. So I'm just gonna continue to do that. I'm gonna guess, just pursue what excites you. Let's say some hot girl, I meet some hot girl or whatever, and we have a bomb relationship going on, and then we want to go do a road trip across America. That's because that's exciting. I'm going to go pursue that. Oh, it happens to be America. I don't care. We're doing what excites me. Let's say, you know, a video project came up, or like, let's say I got, you know, invited to work on some project with some YouTuber that I'm really excited about. If Casey Neistat called me and be like, hey man, I want you to be my intern for a year, I'm gonna be like, duh, because that's exciting. Yeah. So, but this summer I actually am planning on doing 2 months because I have a wedding to go to in mid-August. I usually go back for the 4th, but I'll be doing at least a month and a half. And hey, if I'm like enjoying it, that's the whole thing, guys. That's the whole thing. If I'm enjoying it, I can stay because I can work from wherever. It doesn't matter where I am. And that's the whole paradigm that this whole foundation, this whole video is based off of. The reason that we're here is the whole paradigm of being able to conduct your business from a laptop and have options. Let's say I'm like, you know, really jiving with Blake because he's back home for the summer, and we want to get an Airbnb in Seattle, and he's into videography as well, and we want to work on a project. I can stay in America, you know, and let's say I want to ride out and do the whole summer in Seattle. Boom, I can do that. Let's say I'm getting really bored. I can bounce. And so at the end of the day, guys, like I said at the beginning, it just comes down to setting up your life where you can handle your business from here. And there's a million ways to do it. As I said in the beginning, there's 3 main ways: be a freelancer, a remote employee, or a business owner. We all strive to be a business owner, and there's many different small online businesses you can start: e-commerce, digital marketing agency, Kindle audiobooks, digital courses, making video courses, putting videos on Skillshare. Like you're making like a handful of $1,000 a month automatically from Skillshare, right?
Yeah, so
that's amazing. That's so special. Like, and Ali, who's filming this video right now, she makes a full-time income passively 100% from her stock photos and footage on stock photo sites. She just gets direct deposits every month coming in. You get direct deposits from Skillshare Inc. I get direct deposits in my bank account automatically from Amazon Payments LLC every bi-weekly. It's amazing the opportunities that you can not only make a lot of money, but the type of money where it's like you do the work up front and then it just keeps coming in.
Yeah.
While you sleep, while I'm taking a nap, anytime I want.
Yeah, it's a paradigm shift, right? Because most people are trading time for money, right? Mm-hmm. So even as my passive income has gone up, it's been like, in a way it's a mind fuck, because it's like, okay, like this is not normal.
Like, it's like what?
And you're like, whoa, like,
real?
And then of course, like we said, like it gives you a certain level of freedom that you have to decide what to do with at that point. And like your brother, you have to figure out what you do from that point. A lot of entrepreneurs actually, when they get to that stage of having passive income, start to do projects that are more fulfilling. You know, start a business where you know, it's going to take longer to make money, but they're passionate about it. You know, so
What have you noticed of some of those type of projects that entrepreneurs do, kind of once they've already sold their FBA business or something and have a bunch of money? Have you noticed like any specific type of passion projects that are common?
Well, like I guess with Amazon, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of want to see what's selling and then sell that, right? So like if you're innovating too much, perhaps you're doing it wrong, because you kind of want to take advantage of a demand that's already there.
Oh no, yeah, I mean like an entrepreneur who already is moving on to a passion business.
Yeah.
What have you noticed what's an example of some common passion businesses that you've noticed entrepreneurs do, like when they're at the next level? I mean,
well, I had lunch with a guy the other day who's making motorcycle. So I don't know anything about this niche because I don't ride motorcycles, but apparently when you're driving fast, it's very noisy and you want to listen to music. So so he's making
Maurice.
You know, making these earphones that yeah, I guess you can hear music and it protects your ears at the same time from the road noise
Yep.
and the wind noise. And he's a huge motorbike enthusiast.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he was saying to me, like, you know, if a customer calls up with an issue, he's going to be happy to talk to him because he is the customer, you know, like he's passionate about the niche, you know.
Yep.
And that's one of the great things about if you're making income from a business that's primarily set up for money, it can give you that opportunity to focus on passion projects that
Yep.
can still make money, but aren't a sure thing or are going to take longer to get to that point.
Yeah, creating a product that's around your passion, physical product. The thing that came to mind though is the thing that popped in my mind. The entrepreneurs that maybe they've sold their first business and now their second big thing is going to be starting passion businesses, is doing consulting / mentoring / coaching.
Okay.
That's what I've noticed as a big thing. Starting your coaching, your consulting, and helping people. Something that's going to make a bigger difference in the world, and something that you and I have already helped a lot of people with. That is a big thing. Is helping them start remote work. You know what I'm saying? Helping them get free. Like this girl just in the other room, she came up to us. She's like, Chris, dude, your videos like inspired me to become a digital nomad. Like, wow, this is crazy running into you. And this happens like multiple times a week, like to both of us, like in Chiang Mai, which is like, I'm trying not to take it lightly these days because like it's so important. So a passion business for a lot of entrepreneurs is helping other entrepreneurs start businesses, because it's like, you know, the saying, it's like, give someone some fish and they'll eat for a day. Teach someone how to fish and they'll eat for a lifetime. So teaching someone how to start their own business is one of the most biggest gifts you can give to someone ever. I mean, that's what you call a life changer. And so, you know, that's a passion business, I guess, for a lot of people. And I kind of already do this on the side with my Amazon school and my Digital Nomad Beginners mini course, like breaking it all down for people. And just with your free YouTube videos, like, you know, Digital Nomad Framework, how to be a digital nomad. Like, this is teaching someone how to change their life and literally unlock the cheat code to life. Like, that's so special. And so I hope, you know, one day, you know, when I sell, you know, my current Amazon business or whatever, whenever it may be, to go more full time into these type of projects that make a bigger difference, like helping people change their life, start a business. Because I can't think of a bigger life changer than helping someone start a business and get control of their time. Like, just one case study is like that I'm most proud of, obviously, is my little brother. Like, he came out to visit us in Vietnam for a couple months in 2016, went back home because that unlocked, oh yeah, like, oh my God, in his mind. And now we essentially taught him how to fish, and now he'll never need a job again, because he gets this whole digital marketing thing. And so that already right there is, you know, a passion business on the side. And with my Amazon school, and everyone asked me, by the way, how do I sell on Amazon? Like, teaching someone how to make their own business is just like, it's really special. Anyway, I've been realizing that more, so I had to throw that out. It's really special. But to wrap it up, you don't have to wait until you've sold your first business to start your passion business. I think Chris would agree. Start that on the side as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I set off on this journey, you know, working remotely and traveling, I was building the channel at the exact same time, and I basically did that. I was just out of passion, you know, like even to this day, I consider it just a passion project. The YouTube channel and all the online content. Skillshare is a little bit different because it's more hard knowledge. So that's giving people hard skills. A little bit less fun because it's not travel videos, but I still feel good when I put that content together because I know it's gonna help somebody, you know, out there. Because, you know, some of the courses I made is on stuff that I wish there was a course on. you know, and then I just made the course. So now I'm like catering to the former me, you know.
Yeah.
People who tend to be passionate about certain causes, it comes from a personal place, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm so passionate about not only this lifestyle, well, because my life changed because of a $600 course that I bought from called Dropship Lifestyle from Johnny and Anton. You know, and just to look back in hindsight and be like, wow, that course changed my life from living like life that's like, okay, you know, it's all right, to like, boom, living that life, like visited over 30 countries this past 5 years, like waking up whenever I want, living my actual dream, like from a $600 course, and then to look in hindsight and be like, wow, college was $100,000, and that taught me to do something that I realized halfway through college was not a career that I wanted. Not only did I not want a lab job squirting pipettes through my biochemistry degree, which was leading me up to do that, but I realized that I didn't want to be an employee at all. Because the dream job, guys, is to not have a job. That's the irony of the dream job. Dream job doesn't exist. No, but like when I was in high school and like college, like, and they would say, what's your dream job? Like, you couldn't say not have a job. you couldn't say that. No one would say that. You know, you don't say that in the normal world. But in entrepreneurship, religion, whatever you want to call it, it's the dream job is to not have a job, because in this definition, a job is something you'd rather not be doing. So yeah, to just look back and like wake up every day like when I want, which is like it's one of my favorite things, is wake up on my own time, sleep in when I need more sleep. To do that every day now for the past 5 years, and then to look back and be like, wow, a $600 course set that trajectory. It's like, wow. So like when I have my Amazon course and my beginner's course, I'm like, that's one of the best things you could possibly do is, you know, if that's your dream, take a school where that helps you to get to where your dream is. And not only is the information inside of the school or the course, whatever, going to be exactly what you want and help you get to where you want to go, but by putting up that little investment, it's going to help you make that micro commitment that it's going to actually make it real. And I tell people this all the time, like, what's the best thing I can do to get started, Riley? Freaking put up some money and buy a course that's exactly the thing you want to do, or pay for a mentor who's going to help you do exactly that, and then boom, you've already made the first little micro commitment. Boom. Okay, I think that was great. Good stuff. Anyways, yeah, that was about an hour. If you guys haven't seen Chris's new video about home life versus nomad life, this was a good 1 hour expansion. Yeah. Expansion cast.
Expansion cast.
Expansion cast.
Is that it, if you coined that term? Or?
No, we should trademark that. Expansion cast.
Yeah. Put that in the
Anyways, good stuff. Links to resources, to all the stuff we talked about below. And yeah, let's go hit the pool. Relax.
Awesome.
Because we ain't got no job. Hey. Yo, thanks for watching, guys. So, if you're one of the ones that wants to be a digital nomad like me, but you have no idea where to start, you can tap right here to check out my Digital Nomad Beginner's Guide. It's been 3 years in the making. I finally have it ready for you guys. I'm going to be giving it away for free for a limited time, so check it out. It's got everything you need to know to be a successful digital nomad from scratch, be location independent, make money online, be free, live that life. You can check it out right here. See ya in there.